Welcome to this ripper of an estate, sitting pretty on Jumeirah Bay Island within the Bulgari Resorts and Residences. As soon as you arrive, you get a little glimpse of this unreal estate, and over here we've got the covered carport. This is the owner's 1961 Rolls Royce. We've got the pool here, the deep end's over this way, zero edge, and if you have a squid around the corner there, you can see right down to the ground. And with the push of a button, we've actually got a motorized lid, because right underneath this is the hot tub.
That's pretty grouse.
Yeah.
Imagine having this back in the 60s or 70s, eh?
Yeah.
Bonds a night. This is as James Bond as you can get, I reckon.
So that's the main house sorted, and right next door we've got the new addition, which is just unreal.
Welcome to Club James, folks. Now, this is the grand entrance. I'm loving this modern staircase design.
upbeat music, birds chirping. My advice in general is that people should take their passion for whatever it is all the way. Decide what it is that really interests you, and then take as far as it can go. That's what I have done with this house. Because of my passion for good architecture. It was a very long, painstaking process, but it always paid off. Over the last 2.5 years, the success of our channel has led us to tour some of the best properties in the United States and around the world. But today's tour is unlike anything we've ever done before. The home right behind me, also known as the Sheets Goldstein residence, was designed by the world-renowned architect, business, and it is without a doubt one of the most iconic properties in the world. Now, this home is not on the market, but thanks to its owner, John, we're getting a chance to give the world a full tour of this one-of-a-kind property. And now, let's begin our tour. Gentle, upbeat music. I'm John, the owner of this house. Reporter. As the postseason begins, the NBA and its partners will once again be promoting the league's most recognizable stars. But there's another face you'll be seeing throughout the playoffs. It is invariably framed by a rock star like hair and a python skin hat, and it belongs to a man named Literature, who's become a front row fixture at the highest profile games. I'm sort of drained from just answering the questions. Upbeat music. I had grown up in Milwaukee and was heavily impacted by the designs of Germany. I knew that I wanted a modern house. I knew that I wanted a view of the city. I looked for a house for 2 years before I found the right one, because I'm never one to settle for second best. And the minute I walked into the house that I now own, I knew that was it. Upbeat music. Upon arrival, you see a small part of this extraordinary estate, and over here we have the covered carport. This is the owner's 1961 Rolls-Royce Silver Cloud 2, which is a stunning car, and it's actually his daily driver. So if you see this car around Beverly Hills or Los Angeles, it's him driving. Now, they're currently rebuilding the driveway. So there's a bit of construction here, but I want to take everybody this way to the walkway that takes you to the main home. I love the board-formed concrete walls around us with the vertical and horizontal lines. And if you look at this side, you can actually see all these triangular openings that we're going to see throughout the property. Now, Mikey, let's get a close-up here. This is an abstract statue of business who's the architect of this amazing property. He designed this home in 1963, and then in 1972, the current owner bought this property. There's a super cool story there that I'll cover later in the video. Now, continuing our tour, we have this long walkway taking us straight to the main home, and following this walkway, we actually have a first gate here, again, opening up straight to the koi pond that we're going to see in a bit. And we have this door right here, opening up to another hallway where we have a dressing room for all the photo shoots that takes place in this house, and a half bathroom. Coming back to the walkway, I mean, look at the landscaping here. Mikey, this is amazing. It feels like we're walking into a jungle here. And we have the walkway here taking us to the first koi pond and to the main entry of the home, and talking about walls of glass. I mean, you can literally see through the entire home here, which is super cool. Mikey, let's take these glass steps, and you can see the koi fish here, even the turtles. This is stunning. You have the water feature on the right, talking about a tranquil entry. I mean, this is it. Now, I want to take everybody here. This is the main door of the home, and it takes us straight to the living room area. This is without a doubt one of the most impressive spaces in this amazing estate. Off of the entry, we've got a built-in seating area, and following here, before we talk about the formal living room, I want to bring everybody's attention here. Your koi pond actually goes into your living room, which is super cool. Even your water feature That way you have that perfect indoor-outdoor continuity. Now, coming back here, this is the iconic living room seating area. In my opinion, this is the best living room in the entire city, and I love the built-in seating setup here, really carrying that concrete beam, and all the furniture here that you guys are seeing was designed by a business himself. Now, there are a couple of architectural details here that I would like to cover. First one is that beautiful roof line with the clear story glass right above it. That slim design, allowing natural light to come into the space, and right above us, we have the concrete beam ceiling detail with the triangles, like I mentioned earlier. And if you look closely, you can see these small openings where they have a glass jar on top of the roof serving as mini skylights to bring light beams throughout the space. I mean, this home, the architectural lines here are just simply mind-boggling. Mikey, yeah, we've definitely never seen anything like it on the channel, but something looks awfully familiar about this room to me. Yes, this part of the home was featured in a couple movies and music videos. The Big Lebowski, Charlie's Angels, Full Throttle, and I believe Snoop Dogg's Let's Get Blown music video. Mikey, well, I've seen The Big Lebowski and now I remember it. Yeah, it makes sense, right? And to finish up our tour here, over there we actually have a TV that comes down from the ceiling. Around the corner we got a fireplace and concrete walls. Details, there's pebble rock finish on the floors. It's amazing. Now I want to focus on this side. We have walls of glass from the floors all the way to the ceilings. And what's so special about this assembly here is the fact that there are no steel or aluminum frames around these glass panels. So that way your indoor-outdoor continuity is as good as it gets. And in fact, Mikey, if you look at this side, you see that built-in seating section? It continues to the outdoors. So your eyes even forget that you have glass panels there, which is such an exquisite detail. And this frameless glass assembly here and some of the finishes that we're seeing was part of the reconstruction process of this amazing estate. Upbeat music. So to give everybody a little bit of perspective, this house was built in 1963 by Corn Tuber, and he hired business to design the home. Then in 1972, the current owner, James, or as his friends call him, Romantic. Moving on, I'm going to call him Romantic throughout the tour. Born in 1972 and in 1979. He brought business back to the home, and they basically reconstructed almost every part of this home to bring it to its full potential, and that's what we're looking at today. They worked together for 15 years, and unfortunately in 1994, business passed away, but Romantic, the owner, basically carried out his vision, and that's what we're looking at today. John, unlike many well-known architects, did not have an ego problem. He never came to me and said, "You should do this, you should do that." In fact, he was too much in the opposite direction. He always waited to hear from me. I would have loved to have heard some of his ideas, but he always waited for me. I was very aware that business in many of his homes would come up with a brilliant architectural scheme and then have it diminished by an interior designer who would come in and do some things that conflicted with John's design. I wanted John to have the opportunity to design the furniture as well as the building. The house, as brilliantly as it was designed, was a mess when I bought it. The floor was wall-to-wall green shag carpet, so that gives you some idea of where I started. Now, I want to take everybody outside, but before we do that, can we pan up to the ceiling, talking about those triangular details, right? Look at the hardware that they used to attach the glass panels to the ceiling. Triangle. Look at this frameless glass door with this triangular handle. So cool, right? And it takes us straight to the outdoors. The same pebble rock flooring that we saw in the interiors. They have it also on this amazing backyard space. Talking about an iconic roof line, this is it. I love the reflection of the water underneath the roof line there with a concrete finish. I mean, it's just so incredible, and we have the pool here. Deep end is on this side, zero edge, and if you look around the corner there, you can see 3 windows looking into the lower level that we can check out in a bit. That's another iconic detail right there. Mikey, yeah, now Mikey, let's show everybody the amazing views that this property gets. This patio extends out, and a lot of you may recognize this corner because this house gets used for photo shoots, magazine articles, videos all the time. It's a very iconic moment in this amazing state, and it's honestly not surprising because look at the views here. I mean, you have downtown Los Angeles, Century City, Wilshire Corridor, all the way to the Pacific Ocean. This is phenomenal. I mean, the views that this property gets throughout are just simply breathtaking. And another detail I want to point out here is the fact that there are no railings because the concrete floors actually elevate and kind of almost allow you to not go all the way to the edge. That way you take nothing away from these breathtaking views. Now, Mikey, let's take everybody back inside, and we can actually take a look at the exterior facade from here. I mean, I love that roof line, and again, walls of glass for that indoor-outdoor continuity. Now, before we take everybody toward the kitchen and dining area, I want to talk about some photos here. Romantic, the owner, is famous for going to NBA games, fashion shows, and let's just say he knows a lot of people, and some of the photos that we're going to see throughout the property are pictures of him with a lot of celebrities. So I'm going to run through some of the names here. We got again Filial, correct, Rihanna, Selena Gomez, Migos. This is one of my favorites photos. Kate Moss, Kanye West, Snoop Dogg, Jamie Foxx. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. It's amazing. Mikey, yeah, you're missing Cindy Crawford also. Correct. And there it is. Mikey, yeah, you're right. And DJ Khaled on the back. Mikey, that's right. Amazing. And we're going to see photos of NBA stars and celebrities throughout the property. Now, we are on the right-hand side off the entry, and this is where we have the kitchen and the dining area. We have seen a lot of dining rooms and kitchens on this channel, but we haven't seen one quite like this. I mean, look at the setup here. We have a built-in dining room table, again, designed by business that sits 8 people, and right above that we have this massive skylight that is motorized. So with a push of a button, we can actually open up the entire ceiling here, allowing natural light and fresh air to come into the space. Mikey, yeah, and you said this is all custom furniture by business. It's so customized that if you look down at the carpet, it's actually cut around these slabs of concrete. And yes, Mikey, so I thought that was kind of mind-blowing when I saw it. So I guess if you ever want to change your carpets, you have to kind of disassemble the whole thing or just cut them out. I guess work around it. Mikey, yeah, is a way to say it. And also, Mikey, can we talk about the massive glass walls? Really looking at the amazing views. Again, romantic wanted this home to be really connected to the outdoors. And even in your dining room area, you accomplish that. Now, we have the kitchen here right next to the dining room. We got a Bill bar set up over there with concrete countertops. And I love the bar seating here because they brought stainless steel and they inlaid this concrete texture that we're seeing throughout the property. And in fact, you can see the same concrete texture on this wall as well. And now, let's talk about the kitchen itself. flat panel cabinets. We have stainless steel clad on this side with the dishwasher, sink, stainless steel countertops, and behind me, we have concrete countertops with electric cooktops because we have a vent here and a charcoal grill, which is super cool. Another skylight above us. Just a very futuristic modern kitchen. Now let's go around. By the way, we have another door here opening up from the entrance property. That way it can come in straight to your kitchen. And continuing here, we have a pocket door ceiling of this section because this is where we have the second seating area. Super cozy. We have the built-in seating area here. Above it, you can actually see the projector because it's right on the other side. You have a screen coming down from the ceiling. This is where a romantic watches his NBA games. Kicks back, relaxes, and again, super cozy room with a fireplace around the corner. Now this door opens up to a powder room with coolest vanities set up and a glass roof. So I wanted to point that out. And now, Mikey, let's take everybody outside. So I pointed this section earlier, but this is that exterior hallway that takes us to the guest suites. We have the first one right here. Of course, the whole exterior facade of this guest suite is clad with glass. King-size bed set up with clad ceilings, mirrored walls, and around the corner. We have a full bathroom for this guest suite. Continuing here, we have the second one with pretty much the same finishes and around the corner. This one also has a full bathroom. And continuing our tour, the same with cladding that we've been seeing throughout the interiors of the property is actually brought to the exterior as well. And now we're back at the formal dining room area. Now, Mikey, we've got to talk about this detail. They have a scale model of this amazing estate. The finalized version is a little bit different than what we're seeing here and down below. We have this part of the home, which is this incredible art installation that we're going to see later in the video. Now, the first floor of this property is spectacular, but what's behind me is even better. Upbeat music. We have the stairs taking us to a lower level, and on the walls we can actually see pictures of the home, articles about romantic. We have this glass door here sealing off the staircase because we're currently outdoors. In fact, we have this staircase here going down to the lower part of this property where we have the grounds. And we're going to check out those grounds later in the video. Now I want to take everybody to this exterior walkway, beautifully landscaped. And I love those triangular wall sconces that we have on the walls. It brings us to this landing area here where we have built-in seating on the side. And going through these sliding glass doors, we go into the primary bedroom. You may have seen this room on TV shows, magazines, or even social media. And I'm going to say this, without a doubt, this is my favorite primary bedroom suite in the entire city. This room is so iconic. There are so many architectural details here that we're going to talk in a bit. But first, I want to bring everybody's attention here. Now we have this built-in seating area here with built-in coffee tables. Again, talking about those triangular details. This is it, and right behind me, we have panes of glass that connect you to the outdoors where you see your amazing views. But what's so special about this corner is the fact that the glass panes behind me are motorized. Let's hit it. And just like that, with a push of a button, you could actually open up these massive pieces of glass and connect yourself straight to the views. And again, this is another iconic moment in this amazing estate. And there you go. You have the entire city in front of you, downtown all the way to the Pacific Ocean. I mean, this is amazing, Mikey. I don't know what else to say. Now, let's continue our tour. We have some built-ins here with concrete countertop sink in the center, open shelving, and right next to that, we have the king-size bed, and even the bed coverings here. And kind of the design matches the furniture setup that we saw in the living room. Mikey fully customized. That's right. Now right across from the king-size bed, we have the floor mount TV, and behind that, of course, again, frameless glass walls facing incredible views. And of course, we have automatic shades throughout the bedroom as well. Another detail. Look at the roof line above us. That's the patio that we were on earlier, and that's the section where it raises. Mikey, okay, we are right underneath that. How amazing is that? Mikey, yeah, that's pretty cool. Now behind me we have a built-in desk with a floor mount stainless steel chair. I mean, look at these details. It's incredible. Mikey, keep in mind that like everything we're seeing around here was designed either in the 60s or in the 70s, maybe at best 80s. Mikey, and a lot of these things are original. Like these automatic shades and these motorized doors, everything. So imagine this house in like the early 1970s, just how insanely futuristic it was. We're mind blown now. Can you imagine back then? It's just phenomenal, and these concrete columns are set back. That way you can have walls of glass facing your views. Now, this part is really interesting. So we have some drawer setups here with concrete countertops, and even the veins on the cabinetry are matching. Right on top of that, you can actually see Romantic's hats. He's known, or he's famous for wearing hats, and above that, Mikey. Those are the 3 windows in the main pool facing the primary bedroom suite. Mikey, that's pretty incredible. I actually saw a photo downstairs of a young Brad Pitt sitting next to the ESO. NS, really? Man, yeah. I feel like everyone's been here, you know? That's right. Now, Mikey, let's continue our tour. We have the water closet on my right-hand side. This detail might be one of my favorites in the house. Right there you have a reader, because this is a built-in scale. And that's how much I weigh if anybody's wondering or curious. Mikey, just keep me off that thing. Now we have the built-in closets here. Romantic's famous closet. And with a push of a button, you can activate the motorized coat hangers. That way you can actually circulate the clothes within the closet. Really nice detail. We have our first vanity set up here with a floating mirror, TV on this side, and what's behind me, or now in front of me, might be one of the most unique architectural details of this home. This glass vanity design with the fabrication. And even your side mirror is so futuristic. And Mikey, I know you're gonna ask for this. This wall-mounted faucet design is actually a touchless. Let's see if I can actually manage to turn on. Water drains right there. Have you ever seen anything like this before? Mikey, I have not. This is incredible. Can we just really get a close-up for the people? Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think we're ever gonna top this vanity moment off. Mikey, no, I don't think so. All right, let's continue our tour. We have granite floors here that goes all the way into this walk-in shower. You have body sprays, chrome fixtures, and even the roof assembly here is all glass. Again, that indoor-outdoor flow. And you have an outdoor shower around the corner. Also another detail. Mikey, I want to mention, throughout the home, there is no plaster. There is not a single painted surface. Every single interior clad is raw. Concrete is raw, and you have steel, then you have wood. So everything is organic. I mean, think about that. They managed to design a home like this without using any paint. I mean, it's crazy. Mikey, yeah, it's insane, and a lot of times, like, concrete homes kind of feel cold, but I think all the wood in here, everything kind of warms it up. It's a really kind of unique feeling. Absolutely, and I think this indoor-outdoor continuity really plays a huge role with that warmth. Now, let's talk about what we have here. This is like a patio space dedicated to the primary bedroom suite. The staircase goes up the main floor. We have a staircase here going down the ground, and when we push a button, we actually have a motorized lid because right underneath this, we have the hot tub. Mikey, that's pretty cool. Once again, imagine this in the 60s or 70s. I mean, incredible. This is as James Bond as it gets, I want to say. Mikey, yeah. So that's it for the main home. And right next to the main home, we have the new addition to this property, which is incredible. Upbeat music. I've been going to nightclubs all over the world since I was a young guy, and I've always dreamed about having my own nightclub. And so it was always something in my mind. Every time I go to Paris or Milan or Moscow, I'm heavily impacted by the excitement of the nightclubs and the enthusiasm, which is night and day from what happens in Los Angeles. So very definitely one of my goals in creating this nightclub was to do something to help the night scene in LA. There have been many parties here and many good parties here. But I would have to say that Rihanna's birthday party, the club wasn't even finished yet, was probably the highlight of all the parties. Welcome to Club James. Now this is the grand entry. I love this modern staircase design. And if you look at the bottom of the threads, you can see the nice taper to it. Stainless steel handrails with glass railing. And the concrete textures here at the walls and angles are so futuristic. And right above us, we have this glass roof assembly off of the entry. Now, this door on my left-hand side opens up to the future movie theater. That's going to be 3,200 square feet. This property is always under construction. Romantic is constantly improving the estate. So that's a new addition. Now, going through this opening, we go straight into the nightclub. This is not the first time we're seeing a nightclub within an estate, but this one is unlike anything we've ever seen before. This structure here, which is a new addition right next to the main home, is around 5,700 square feet of interior space, and most of it is this amazing nightclub. We have kind of like your dance floor here with the stainless steel floors, built-in seating. Again, a lot of those triangular angles throughout, and of course, walls of glass again, facing the breathtaking views of the city. Now, some of the details of this nightclub, we have Function 1, top-of-the-line audio system throughout, massive screen on this side that we're going to see in a bit, same concrete textures are also here, and you can actually see the board form details a little bit more prominent in this newer edition. They use 1.5-inch plywood to kind of create this texture look that we're going to see throughout. Going here, we have the DJ booth. Gotta be the coolest DJ booth I've ever seen in my life. It looks like you're literally controlling a spaceship. Mikey, yeah, it's really cool, really futuristic. And I've been talking throughout this tour about imagining this house in the 60s and 70s, but this was built recently, right? Yes, this part was built in the last 10 years, give or take. Now we have a really cool picture of John here, romantic. So I want to point that out, and continuing our tour, I also want to mention, Mikey, building a space like this in 10 years, that's 10 years of romantic's life, 10 years of the architects that were involved. So I want to give them a huge credit for this amazing structure and the outdoor space that we're going to see in a bit. Now this is where we have the bar area. Same gravel stone detail that we've been seeing throughout. They have in the nightclub here as well, and continuing here, stainless steel countertops, multiple sinks. You have dishwashers, fridges, ice makers, more fridges on the side, and again, the concrete textures, details, LED lighting, recessed lighting on the ceiling. In fact, they use over 2 miles of conduit on the ceilings alone, Mikey. to wire the entire space. And not only do you get recessed lighting, of course you get your nightclub lighting and your grid lighting and all that cool stuff. And imagine this place at night with all the lights on, music on, people partying, and you're looking at the glowing city. Phenomenal. Mikey, pretty incredible. We've seen some videos leading up to this where even celebrities are like, that's the coolest nightclub I've ever been to. Absolutely. Mikey, yeah. Lastly, we have that massive screen. In fact, we're going to take that glass door in a bit. But first, I want to take everybody here. Your nightclub continues. Now we have the bathrooms here. But first, I want to go through here. This room was built to be the VIP room for the nightclub, but it's currently holding Romantic's valuable memorabilia. Mikey? Yeah. We have a lot more photos of him. All those magazine articles. Stuff about the house. Just seems like a lot of stuff he's been featured in over the years. I mean, celebrities on this side, Pharrell, David Beckham. Those are like the first faces. Kanye West again, Drake. This is amazing. It's a super cool room, and it's nicely dressed. Mikey, yeah, it's really cool. Now, let's take everybody, Mikey, out so we can show the bathroom here. It's built like a nightclub. So even your bathroom is nice and open. Stone-clad everywhere. We have two vanities here. First water closet on this side. And we have the second water closet at the end of the hallway. Now, let's go back to the nightclub, Mikey, so we can take everybody not to the outdoors yet. We're going to take a quick look at the views because we have a landing area where you can actually go down to your lower level. But first, I want to actually open this door here so we can check out the remaining offices and Romantic's office, which is super cool, and it starts right here. On our right-hand side, we have the administrative office. We have the built-in desk setups here, and the concrete walls and ceilings continues. In fact, even these floating desks are built out of concrete, and the whole room is again filled with Romantic's photos and memorabilia and articles about the house. This is really cool. We have a scale model of the new edition. We currently have all this section completed, including the backyard area with the pool that we're going to see in a bit. And I believe, Mikey, this is the future movie theater, and I'm assuming that's some sort of like a tennis pavilion that they're hoping to build down the road. Overall, another cool room, and Mikey, let's show this detail. We have a clear story windows because right behind this wall, we have Romantic's office that is facing the breathtaking views. In fact, why don't I take everybody back to the entry here and talk about Romantic's incredible office? A room like this really inspires me because look at the space. Who would want to work here? You have all this glass assembly here. In fact, to accentuate the views, you even have a glass room design. They use these triangular brackets that can hold that assembly. That way it feels like, I keep saying spaceship, but it feels like you're in a spaceship and you're just floating above the city. It's incredible. I mean, look at the roof lines above us with the concrete texture. We have a floating built-in desk set up here, of course with concrete, and we actually have a lower section with stainless steel. Now, this room is all about Romantic's passion for basketball. Romantic is really passionate about fashion, architecture, and basketball. And in here you can see his photos with all NBA players. This is a really special photo for Romantic because he's holding the championship trophy for Houston Rockets in 1995. How cool is that? Mikey is really cool. They always say Romantic roots for the underdog, and the Rockets won that year, and the Bulls were on a tear. Michael Jordan took that year off to play baseball, and the Rockets won. So I bet that was especially. That's gratifying for him. And I also want to say this to everyone. Romantic has a super cool Instagram account. He posts photos all the time. I'm a follower myself, so we're gonna put his Instagram in the description as well. Make sure you give him a follow. Check it out. He has a really cool lifestyle. Mikey, now Mikey, I want to take you to the other side. This is also really interesting. This is Romantic's dog, Natasha. Romantic bought this house for his dog. That way his dog is a place to run. And look how that story evolved over the years. And this house became Romantic's lifelong mission, which was super cool. Now, Mikey, before we go to that side, look at that photo right there. I just saw it. That's Kobe Bryant on the corner of that patio on the main house. Mikey, a young Kobe. That's pretty awesome. That is awesome, right? Now, Mikey, let's take everybody back to the views one more time. I mean, you have the entire city in front of you, but what's so cool about this space is down below us where we have the outdoor terrace. Gentle, upbeat music. All right, everyone, let's go check out the outdoor terrace. This part of the home was just completed, and we're one of the very first people that are actually getting access here and get a chance to shoot it. So it's super cool. This part of the home really takes advantage of the amazing views. We have the pool on our right-hand side, but first I want to start our tour here. At the end of this wall, we have a half bathroom for this level, and right in front of me, we have this outdoor dining area with a built-in concrete dining table. Above that, you can actually see the line of recessed lights going all the way to the lounge, space heaters, built-in speakers, and over here we have the lounge area. Furnishings are pretty much the same style that we saw at the main house. Everything is nicely uniform. Here we have the textured concrete walls, TV on that side, and one distinct detail here that I really like is the stainless steel band where the ceilings and the walls meet. So I want to point that out. Now that's the futuristic staircase that I just came down from. And going here through the grass section, we have this incredible infinity edge pool. This infinity edge pool really takes advantage of the amazing views. Almost runs the entire length of this outdoor terrace in the same PebbleTech finish details that we've been seeing throughout the walls and on the floors. They also brought that detail here, and in fact, finer PebbleTech finishes were used inside of the pool plaster. We have the steps around the corner there with the lounge chairs, and on the other side, we have the spa that we're going to see in a bit. Mikey, let's take everybody this way. Off of the staircase, we have additional patio space with lounge chairs, and right on the other side, we have the outdoor bar. Now, this bar is built in a way that almost replicates the bar that we saw at the nightclub. It's a little bit smaller, but it has same commercial grade finishes and appliances that we saw at the other bar, sink, all that good stuff. Now, focusing here, you have a secondary, more of an outdoor kitchen here. You have your full-size fridge here, sink, stainless steel countertops on this side, with griddle and meal appliances, and right across from that we have concrete countertops on this side. Again, with more meal appliances, and around the corner, additional sink. Great outdoor kitchen. And look at me finding more details. I love the stainless steel kind of inlay design into bar with the polished countertops. Super cool. Now everyone, we are at the other edge of the outdoor terrace. We have another glass vanity design here, just like Romantic's bathroom, which is super cool. Let me see if I can turn this one on. This one turned on pretty quickly. Mikey, yeah. And look how that drain works on the other side. Such a cool detail. And we have another powder room on this side. Now I want to take everybody back to the backyard. We have this fabricated outdoor grill here. I've never seen anything like this before. Obviously, it's a custom piece, and yeah, I want to have one of these in my own house in the future. Mikey, yeah, that's really cool. Cook some steaks on there. That's right. Now let's focus here, Mikey. We have a floating outdoor dining table. This one is obviously not covered, so that way you can take advantage of nice, cool days like this one. You get an additional outdoor seating area with a fire pit right in front of it, and this is where we have the spa. Now I know we took an interesting route here, and I love that spa is nicely divided with this glass section. So if you look at the level of the surface, you can see that glass sticking out about an inch over the rest of the pool. Now this is a great spot for us to turn back and look at this incredible addition. Walls of glass facing the views. That's Romantic's office right there. We have the nightclub on the other side, and they rent out the space in the main house for photo shoots, movies, events, and we'll make sure to leave their link in the description of this video. If anybody wants to inquire any information, now that's it for the terrace and the nightclub and the offices, but we got something very special right on top of this addition. This tennis court, without a doubt, is one of the best in the city, and it's not hard to understand why, because as you're playing tennis here, these are the views you're looking at. Romantic, the owner, he's a big tennis fan, so he wanted to have an amenity like this within his estate. And keep in mind, this property is located on a hillside, so it's not easy to build a tennis court this size within the hillside. So big congrats to them, and while I'm up here, obviously views are great, and this is one of the highest points of this estate. You can really get a true scale of this entire estate, and the landscaping around, the trees, the lush greenery, and to give everybody a little bit of perspective, we have the main house right in front of us, approximately 4,500 square feet. Down below us we have the office and the nightclub, which is about 5,700 square feet. You have the 6,000 square foot tennis court, and by the way, this is a great space for you to throw events, parties, because again, you're facing the amazing views. Another thing I want to point out, throughout the tour, we saw the beautiful landscaping around the bedrooms, outdoor terraces, and this property sits on 5 acres of land. So we get a lot of outdoor spaces, and it's beautifully landscaped throughout, upbeat music. So I didn't want to talk about the grounds and not bring everybody over here. Granted, I'm wearing a suit, but I don't care. Grounds of this property are so special. It literally feels like we're in Bali or in a rainforest. And I mentioned earlier, this home or this property sits on 5 acres of land. So you have all these outdoor surfaces that have been nicely flattened out. A lot of walkways that takes you to the grounds. In every single corner that you look, you have beautiful trees, palm trees, greenery, and you even have some art installations throughout the grounds. On top of that, there are these sections that have been flattened out where you have lounging chairs for you to sit down, relax, and enjoy the amazing views. Personally, this is one of my favorite spots within the grounds. This flattened out section here with soft grass, trees behind us, and you have these lounge chairs for you to sit down, relax. Look at these breathtaking views. I mean, what a great spot for you to drink your morning coffee, do your morning yoga, and totally disconnect from the rest of the home. Just have a private moment here. Now, the grounds of this property are truly incredible in the amount of time, money, and resources that have been put in place to maintain and to grow landscaping here. It's truly astonishing. My hat's off to Romantic. Now, the last part of this tour is actually down below us, and it's unlike anything we've ever seen on this channel. Gentle, upbeat music. In the early 1990s, I was at a show at the Ace Gallery in Venice, and and was exposed for the first time to the work of James Turrell. I was so impressed. I thought to myself, it would really be something if I had a work done by James Turrell. People referred to it as a meditation place. I'm not sure what meditation really means, but when I'm not traveling and I'm here home, I pretty quickly go down to the James Turrell, because as many times as I've seen the show at sundown in the sky space, I never know exactly what to expect, because the color changes seem to be a little different every time I experience it. Now, we're at the bottom of the grounds, and what's behind me is something I've been talking about throughout this episode. Let's go check it out. So we have this walkway here bringing us to this concrete structure that literally looks like a bunker. In fact, this building was designed by James Turrell, and it is one of his sky space. Let's go inside. So we have the stainless steel door here taking us into the space, and again, it's unlike anything we've ever seen on this channel. We have the concrete floors here with this floating effect, and right in the center, we have this built-in bed set up. Now, throughout the room, you can actually see the mood lighting that seeps through the floors and reflects the walls. You can change the color of the lighting here as well. And they have even sound effects to kind of enhance the feeling of this amazing sky space. In fact, let's hit it. With a push of a button, you have all these custom sound effects for this particular space. Now we got something even more special. With a push of a button, we actually have a motorized roof that is above us that opens up and tucks above the structure, which is super cool. And yeah, let's cut the audio too. There you go, Mikey. Have you ever seen anything like this? Mikey, this is pretty incredible. I guess that's why they call it sky space. Yeah, that's right. But these are extremely rare to find anywhere, especially in residential properties. Correct. But LA has a few of them here and there, but it's really cool. This is such an amazing space, and there's actually one more detail here, Mikey, that I want to talk about. You can actually leave the roof open even during rain, because they have built-in floor drains here. So imagine laying down here, looking at the sky while rain is pouring here. Now that wraps our tour of this amazing estate, but we're gonna do what we always do, spend a few more hours here, wait for the sun to go down, so we can see this place at night, gentle upbeat music. After years of very hard work of getting the house to where it is now, I couldn't imagine having the house fall into private hands and not knowing what would happen to it. And so for quite a long time, I envisioned the house belonging to some public entity, which would continue my willingness to have public tours here and having it open to architectural students, and hopefully having it be an inspiration for good architecture and landscaping in the future in Los Angeles. Mikey, do you have any advice for anyone wanting to get into architecture or just want to pursue their dreams in general? It's very broad, kind of philosophical, but I just thought I'd ask you that to wrap this up. My advice in general is that people should take their passion for whatever it is all the way. Don't just dabble in 20 different things. Decide what it is that really interests you and then take as far as it can go, and that's what I've done with this house because of my passion for good architecture. And I've done it with fashion in the same way, and I've done it with basketball. Gentle, upbeat music. All right, everyone, that's it for the tour. All I have left to say is wow. Today was incredible, and this estate is truly one of a kind. I also want to thank the owner, John, for letting us tour his amazing home that has been his lifelong legacy. So we are honored for the opportunity given to us today. I also want to commend him for donating the home to LACMA. Now, off the foyer, we got honed limestone floors, plaster walls, and warm walnut paneling. And before we go any further, I want to take a step back for a sec, because on my left, we got this architectural staircase opening that takes you to the lower level and the second floor. between the board-formed concrete wall and the open riser design. It's a real ripper frame. Now, back to the entry and over to the other side, we got the formal dining room. Circular table in the middle, gorgeous chairs. You've got a service counter here with refrigerated drawers. A real nice bar display. More built-ins here. And yeah, this is your dining room. Now, right in the center, we got this Bonza Steinway and Sons piano, dressing the room up nicely. And behind me is the staircase I mentioned, off the foyer. It goes up to the second floor. This isn't actually the main staircase. We'll see the main one later on. Now, come this way. Beautiful seating area. This is technically your formal living room. Love the coffee table in the center. A few chairs, a couch. And can we just talk about this floating gas fireplace? I love the design in here and how you got picture windows around the fireplace. And the top bit floats. So, from the outside, this wall looks unreal. And obviously, from the inside, you've got this minimalist look. Then you've got your comfy seating. And the whole room is surrounded by picture windows looking out at the views. That's the Pacific Ocean, right there. Down below us is the Oval Garden. And this is just Bonza. Now, if that wasn't enough, this living room sticks out about 18 plus feet over the garden below us. Looking at this room from the outside is such a Bonza architectural frame. In fact, right behind me is also the second court tree that they built this house around. And having a picture window here, looking out at your main patio and oval garden is just unreal. I'm lost for words, and I reckon we've seen this room before. At another place in Hollywood Hills, Belgrave. Oh yeah, remember Belgrave had a living room like this that stuck out over the views? Literature and martial arts. Yeah, I remember that house really well. But instead of views of the ocean, you've got views of Los Angeles and the city. Swordsmanship that's spot on. Now, while we're here, before we leave this room, let's run to the specs for a sec. We got 5 bedrooms, 6 full and 5 half bathrooms. 11,239 square feet of inside space built on a 66,646 square foot block on the market for $34,750,000. And I want to give a big shout out to the listing agents, business and office for making this tour happen. We're stoked to be in La Jolla. And as always, you can find more info about this listing in the description of this video. Now, let's keep going back to the foyer because we got a couple of other rooms I want to show you. On this side, there's actually a small hallway here that leads to the 2-car garage. And this door here opens up into a laundry room. 2 washers, 2 dryers, cabinetry, and a sink. Pretty much everything you need. Now, come with me this way. Look at the length of this hallway. It takes you all the way to the primary bedroom suite. Opens up to the backyard. But before we go any further, I want to go this way so we can check out the powder room. Onyx vanity, custom made. Mirror is nicely set in, wall sconces. Same limestone floors are here too. Just a real nice powder room. Now, let's head back to the main space. There's actually a butler's kitchen here. But first, let me bring everyone to the great room. This is definitely the heart of this place. It's got the kitchen, dining area, and the family room. On each side, we got massive sliding glass doors, seamlessly opening this room up to the outdoors. Out the back, we got the backyard, and out the front, we got the views and the oval garden down below. Roof lines that stick out, clear story windows, with plank ceilings that run all the way to the outside, honed limestone floors. There's a lot going on in this room, but I just love how it's all tied in with the outdoors. And you can just walk straight outside from your great room to these views. This is tops. What makes this place so unique and special is the privacy, security, and the big flat area you get up here with this grouse view is just unheard of in La Jolla. What makes La Jolla special is the topography. So, the lay of the land in La Jolla gives you 5 or 6 unreal views. And this one sits at the top. It's the real crown jewel of this hill, Mount Soledad. Literature and martial arts. Obviously, your ocean views are insane, but I'm really curious about what you call this down below us. Oval Garden. Oval Garden. I haven't been down there yet. I bet the house looks unreal from up there. Swordsmanship. Oh, the architecture of this place is just stunning. And I reckon the design team here had the chance to go all out, and they nailed it. And that's why when you look around, you see these steel cantilevers, clear-story windows, which are motorized, by the way, most of them. Then you look over here, you got this butte patio that curves with a walkway. And you might think this is just another water feature, but it's not actually. If you look at this house from a bird's eye view, you realize that the lines of the water feature match the lines of the pool that's in the backyard. It's all connected. Literature and martial arts. I actually noticed that when I was flying the drone. I thought that looked grouse. I love details like that. I love that attention to detail. And this place is all about it. Now, we got the same limestone floors here. Even the grout lines match the outside patios. Then in front of us, we've got the family room. L-shaped couch, coffee table, 2 chairs. Even these chairs are so elegant with stainless steel legs. Then you come over to this side. This is a 130-inch TV wall, custom designed for the house. Not to mention we've got Bang and Olufsen speakers. On each side, you can have Butte screensavers like this, or you can just watch the telly, obviously. Down below is another linear gas fireplace, and even here, with a limestone bottom, steel framed around the fireplace. And you got Texas limestone on top with built-in shelves. You even have mood lighting above. And this is just the family room. It's only the beginning. Literature and martial arts. I love the color palettes and materials they've used in this house. So warm. I always love black mixed with wood. And then they've got these splashes of white, which I reckon you said is limestone. Swordsmanship. Spot on. They've also brought a lot of organic materials into this place. The ceiling is all cedar. And you got this live-edge walnut dining table right in the middle that softens up the room. You've got a brass chandelier above. They've even brought some of the brass touches to the table as well. It actually helps join these 2 slabs together. Just a lovely space where you can sit down, have your tucker, and enjoy the views. And looking around the room, I think I mentioned it earlier, we've got a lot of clear-story windows. These windows are motorized, so with the push of a button, you can open them and close them. You can even set them up so that if it gets too hot inside, they'll automatically open up to let the moisture out and even out the room temperature. Pretty unreal. Literature and martial arts. Fair dinkum? So the windows will automatically open at different humidity levels? Correct. I reckon we've never seen that before. That's pretty interesting. It's pretty grouse, right? Yeah, for sure. Swordsmanship. Now, another thing I want to talk about is the lighting in this house. This place has a Lutron lighting control system, and they're also the sponsor of today's video. Now, I'm not just saying this because they're sponsoring our video, but most of the houses we tour, whether it's in Los Angeles or around the world, use Lutron lighting. Yeah, I reckon one of the most common comments on our channel when we tour modern homes is, how are you supposed to sleep in this glass box with all this natural light pouring in? Correct. I mean, we're in a great room right now, and it's grouse to have these sliding glass doors opening up the backyard or to these views. But they got built-in shades, and that's what Lutron does. They provide these seamless shades that fit into your sliding glass door openings. That way you can just use them. They don't change the look of your house. They're super quiet, and you can use them to soften the light or completely block it out. Another thing I want to mention, they also give you a Ripper app where you can control every single light in your house. A lot of the time when we tour these places, we stay real late. As you can imagine, with houses this big, if you try to turn off every single light, it'll take forever, right? Yeah, but with Lutron, you go to the entry, you click all off, and Lutron turns off the whole house for you, which is bonza. Not only that, but in each room, they've got different lighting setups, so correct. If you're having a party or something, you can change the mood without having to dim every single light. Exactly. You can set up certain settings. Yeah, for sure. That way you can just press a button and get the mood you want, whether it's no dim lights and cold lighting off. But then you want to have certain lights on and your shades down. You get all those functions with the push of a button. Now, Lutron has over 15,000 energy-saving products. They're sold in over 100 countries. They've been around for over 60 years. And just in the US, I reckon they help customers save over 10 billion kilowatt hours of energy, which works out to $1 billion in utility costs. That's hard to believe. Unreal. Yeah, right? So, they're a Ripper company. Big thanks to them for sponsoring this video. We're going to put their links in the description. So make sure to check them out. And let's continue our tour with this kitchen. We got a massive island up front, Taj Mahal courtside countertops, bar seating on this side with LED lighting. Then you come over here. This is unreal. This is a pop-up drawer that hides a mixer. Oh, fair dinkum? Yeah, it hides in the island bay. And it's a clever touch. Push a button and it just comes up. I reckon that's pretty rare. I don't reckon I've seen that very often. Maybe we saw it in one house, but we saw it at one house. I'm trying to remember which one, but I can't. We've toured too many places at this point. After 100, 200 places, they all start to look the same. There you go. Now this is interesting. A La Corne rotisserie. It's an appliance. Correct. And I reckon you can cook other stuff with it too. It's an interesting take on a built-in appliance. Now, before we go on, I actually forgot to mention we've got a hallway here. That's the elevator landing on this level. And we've got a butler's pantry here, handily located close to the formal dining room. Same cabinetry. You've got another sink here, fridge, and freezer. It's a grouse feature, for sure. Now, back to the kitchen. Walnut cabinetry throughout. You've got Wolf built-in appliances. Induction on this side. Then you've got your Wolf gas stove here. The same Taj Mahal quartzite is also on this side, as well as the backsplash. You've got your vent nicely hidden in the cabinetry, built-in fridge, and freezer down below. Let's see. Obviously, your sink is also on the island. And knock knock, a dishwasher. It's always grouse to have It's Been a While Mila. That's it for your kitchen. Obviously, it looks out to your dining area, and the family room gets the benefits of the views. And now, let's check out the backyard. Yeah, first, we got this covered area here. Another steel cantilever above us. And look at this spot. It's unreal. So private, all these trees. And check this out. I've got a Ripper story. This area used to be a tree farm. They were growing trees here. And then later on, it was turned into a subdivision. And before this place was built and finished in 2019, they had an older house here. And on that property, they had these 3 unreal cork oak trees. By the way, this is the first time I've ever seen a cork oak tree. It's a real grand and majestic tree. And they wanted to protect these 3 trees that are around the property. One behind you, literature and martial arts. One here. And we saw the other one off the first seating area. Yeah, and they built the entire place around it. They were so committed to keeping these trees. Look at the roof line right there. They've literally curved it around the tree. That way the tree can still grow and be right next to the house. How unreal is that? Literature and martial arts. Yeah, that's pretty grouse. I didn't notice the curve in the roof. When I was looking at photos of this place before we came here, I saw it was called a tree house. And I wondered why. This is why. Now it makes sense. Swordsmanship bonzer, right? Right, let's go this way. Now we got these steps taking us to the outdoor kitchen and the outdoor patio. Right next to that is the recreation room. We're gonna check out that space in a bit. Massive shuffleboard, a few chairs. This is where you can sit down and watch your mates shuffle. I reckon that's what you call it. Yeah, I don't know. I've never heard that term before, but you can watch a lot of the action from there. Absolutely. Then we got the outdoor seating area, dining area, and kitchen out the back. The thing above us is a motorized canopy. So, with the push of a button, you can close off this whole area. You even have space heaters here. This might be one of my favorite spots on this property because I reckon La Jolla has unreal weather. You'd use this area all the time. They've even got an outdoor TV here. And as I was looking at this telly, I realized these are barn doors. So you can close it off and get that minimalist look, or you can just leave it open and watch TV. Now let's go to the other side. Again, you've got your outdoor seating area with a built-in fire pit. And now I want to talk about the kitchen. This is an Evo gas grill. This is the first time we've seen this built-in outdoor kitchen appliance. I was curious what this was. It's like a cast iron grill. I don't know if it's cast iron. It's like an electric cast iron grill. Gas, and it looks grouse. And when the design team was designing this place, they were like, we're not going to have a traditional outdoor kitchen where you just got a normal gas grill. They're like, let's put in an Evo. Looks pretty unreal. Then on the other side, you've got the rest of your cabinetry. Stainless steel fronts, refrigerated drawers, ice maker, a dishwasher, and a sink. And my favorite touch in this outdoor kitchen is the pizza oven. You might say, I don't even know how to open it. There you go. Now you might say, why are you so excited about a pizza oven? Well, I like the way they build it into this concrete column. It's at an angle. That's how it fits in its bottom. Then you look at the top of this column, and you see that top bit sticks out too, just like some of the other areas of the house, which is unreal. They've even made this section architectural to make the most of the house, literature and martial arts. It was the first thing I noticed when we got here this morning. I had no idea it was for a pizza oven. I thought it looked grouse. But I gotta say, this is probably the most architectural pizza oven in the world. Well said, literature and martial arts. Yeah, swordsmanship. Right, let's keep going. Now, we've got the recreation room in front of us. Sliding glass doors open up. We got a table here with a few chairs, a smaller shuffleboard here. If you don't want to enjoy the full-size one, then a real nice bar. The countertop here is actually pretty unique. It's like mosaic tiles with a clear finish on top. Then we got with countertops here, a sink and bronze open shelving. And this is your bar for the recreation room. Now, on the other side, another small seating area with a live-edge coffee table. I know it's a piano, but what sort of piano is it? I'm pretty sure it's a player piano at the very least. It's like an e-piano that's got a music box built into it with functions. Yeah, you can play drums and bass and that sort of thing. It looks pretty flash. Yeah, you come over here. Another exterior door, a powder room for the recreation room. And before we check out the screening room on this side, I want to talk about something interesting. So, we've got two board-formed concrete walls here. This one, they formed it out of, righto. They reckon they used 2x6 planks. That's why you can see so many different seams and a fair bit more texture. But then you look over to this side, and you'll notice we've only got a few seams, because they went with massive panels. These here are actually the connection points where they ran the rods through to keep the form solid as a rock. And that's the reason this one's got more of an industrial, sort of flat look to it. But you get more character over here. Thing is, when you use this many planks to form up these walls, you need heaps of connection points to hold the whole shebang in place. These are the rods they use. But on this house, they went with fiberglass rods. Usually they go with rebar. Rebar, that's the one. But rebar can sometimes get a bit rusty, whereas fiberglass keeps its good looks. Doesn't rust, blends in better. And it's just a bloody clever detail, I reckon. Literature and martial arts, swordsmanship here, was fair dinkum excited when he clapped eyes on this. I reckon when I saw it, I was like, they know what they're doing. Right, let's mosey on over here. Let's have a look-see. Pocket doors to seal off the screening room. Comfy as section for sitting. Drop-down projector, nice and cozy. Walnut paneling, the works. It's all part of your recreation room, see? A lot of the time, in homes this size, we see screening rooms tucked away somewhere on the property. But in this case, they've gone for more of a fun approach and just plunked it in the rec room. All right, literature and martial arts. Back to backyard we go. Let's do it. So far, we had a squiz at the first half of the backyard. On the other side, we got a 150-foot lap pool. Water jets here, serving as a water feature or just something fun for the kids to muck around with. And right in the center, we've got this grass section. What a bonza spot for us to have a look back at the house. Again, those architectural lines, these steel screens, the way the second floor is positioned above the main floor. Big ups to the design team. I reckon they did a fantastic job. I was dead keen for this tour today. And I reckon I've done my best to cover all the details. I'm just worried I might be miss a few. Between how they've chucked in clear story windows, how they've oriented the structure on this block, which is a pretty good size, and how they've kept it all so private and brought in these natural elements with the landscaping and material selection. It's fair dinkum impressive. That's all I'm going to say. Now, the pool here's got a motorized cover. Looks super inviting. We got a few day beds on the other side with canopy tops. That's your raised hot tub. And behind that is the third cork oak tree. That's the third one. All right, I was wondering if you were going to mention that. I did notice that. Now that I know what they look like. Looks bloody ripper. This structure here is the office. You can get to it from this side or from inside. And I reckon I mentioned it earlier, but this pool keeps going to the other side as a water feature. What a clever detail. Righto. Now let's head back inside so we can get to the other side. Again, we're in the great room. And behind this limestone wall, we got the main staircase. Now, just like the rest of the house, the way this room is designed is something special. No worries. It's not the widest room, but they still plunked in this beautiful spiral staircase. And it just curves so nicely up the second floor. It's open riser. The railings nicely integrated into the steps. I love how they've curved the wood paneling on the staircase too. And it just looks so elegant. You got that same limestone wall that we saw in the family room wrapping around to the other side. And they've even got these recessed in-floor lights to light up the texture here. Picture windows, circular skylight above. You got the second floor landing up there. Plaster wall. This here is a sculpture. It's not a staircase. I'm just gonna shoot up there for a sec. Literature and martial arts. This is one of my favorite bits of the whole house. The center beam that wraps around behind you. How many pieces is that? Looks like it's like 3 pieces, more or less. Swordsmanship. Well, you see in the wood paneling that's on top. It's probably a curved and welded steel frame. And they just clad on top. And if that wasn't enough, as you go up, you can see this detail right here. I reckon I've talked about it a few times. At this point, the second floor is literally floating above the first floor. And that's that little gap, I want to say 1.5 feet, where they plunked in that picture window. Literature and martial arts. Yeah, you can actually see the turf in the second level right there as well. Swordsmanship. Exactly. And I want to clarify something. Obviously, the top floor is attached to the lower level. It's just floating above it. See? So all you got are those steel columns. In fact, the home is pretty much all steel frame too. So I wanted to mention that. Beautiful design, no worries. Right? Follow me this way. Now we're headed to the primary bedroom wing. We got a bathroom on my left-hand side. It's a powder room with a floating vanity. Skylight above, bringing in natural light, nice and airy. And coming back to the hallway, we go straight into the office. This room is dedicated to the primary bedroom. L-shaped couch, nice fireplace with a marble wall. 2 doors open up the backyard where we got the pool. So you got an outside entry. And on this side, we've got this built-in wall with all these shelves. And they've even got a cuckoo clock since it's a tree house. I don't reckon I've ever actually seen a cuckoo clock in person. I reckon I just see them in like cartoons growing up. That's my only experience with M. Besides all the details we've seen so far, they even thought of this. Crazy, It's whimsical, it's interesting. So I wanted to mention that they've got over here. Again, you got your sitting area, built-in desk, floating shelves. And then you come over to this side, where we've got another hallway that leads you to the primary closet. Now, this closet is obviously very spacious. On my right-hand side, we've got a massive picture window looking towards the Japanese Zen garden. We're going to check that space out in a bit. It actually opens up to the primary bedroom. Now, coming here, this is the landing of the primary bedroom suite. So this entry point is actually behind the staircase. We use the one that's in front of it, so you can actually enter the primary bedroom wing from both sides. Now follow me this way. First, let's check out the primary bathroom. Starts here. Another set of pocket doors. Some built-ins. This is where we got the first vanity. It's floating with LED lighting underneath. I really like the mirror design here and how they plunk these light boxes in between. You even got a skylight above to bring in more natural light. chrome fixtures, the works. Everything is polished to perfection. This house feels like a brand new home. No worries. Now on the back, obviously, we got fantastic views. Chandelier above. Freestanding tub is positioned here. And it's cleverly designed where they've got your fixtures raised from the floor. But it's got just enough clearance for these motorized casement windows to work. How good's that, eh? I reckon they could have easily plunked some hardware here. Instead, they've gone for motorized assembly, push a button, and you can just let natural air come into the bathroom. Righto, let's get to the other side. Massive walk-in shower, glass enclosed, rain head above, book match stone. Obviously, you got your steam feature. In fact, you can see the outlets here. They've done this nice set forward bench design. So it's not against the glass wall here. It looks a little bit more contemporary. Drains are nicely tucked underneath. But my favorite detail in this walk-in shower is the skylight above right there. See? You know why? I reckon I know what you're gonna say. But I'm gonna let you say it motorized. It's motorized. Yeah, of course. So you can let more natural air come in. And it probably helps dry out the walk-in shower too. Eh? Yeah, that's the ticket. So obviously, we just had a squiz at the backyard. And as soon as the camera stopped rolling, I noticed at the pool house, or the recreation house, the bathroom in there had the same automatic skylights, which is a detail we missed. But I thought you were gonna bring that up in here. Well, these things ain't cheap. And again, it shows the fact that the architects really cared about bringing natural air and natural light to property wherever they can. So it's a nice touch, that's for sure. Now we've got more screens here to control the light even more. They're actually plunked right in front of the windows. You can move them to each side. And another modern detail, I want to point out your second vanity is here. Pretty much the same finishes. Literature and martial arts. I don't know if you recognize this. Pop-up TV here, see? Oh, really? Recessed into the cabinetry. And now I want to take everyone back to the landing so we can check out the primary bedroom. Now this bedroom, the way it's designed, is super cool. It starts here. And before we check out the bedroom, we have a yarn about the Japanese Zen garden. And now, off the sliding glass doors, we got this reflecting pool, which is also a koi pond. Then beyond that, you can actually see the gravel landscape. This beautiful tree, that's a Japanese soaking tub. All right? They've even got integrated built-in seat in here. Even their rate matches the style of the design here. How cool is that? F? Yeah, Bonza. And it's also pretty similar to that tree we saw in the driveway earlier as well. Correct? Spot on. And I reckon, I love that it's super private. It's Zen. You even got another statue here. Board-formed concrete walls. And it's right next to your primary bedroom suite. You've got the king-size bed here. Nice warm paneling on the back with integrated bedside lights. Then you got your fireplace on the side, the TV above. Another set of sliding glass doors open up the grounds and the oval garden that's down below. And the primary bedroom suite even has its own garden right here. Casement windows above are motorized, the works. Just a bloody cozy bedroom, no worries. And I actually want to take everyone to the back because we got a few other details here. Literature and martial arts. I don't know if you know this one. For dogs. Eh? Yes, you got it. Okay, I'm assuming because they've got another one on the other side. There's a dog statue in the backyard. So I reckon the people that built the home are dog lovers. No worries. Yes, they are. Spot on. And then you come over here, it gets crazy. They've got another small patio. This is their dog park, dog training area. It actually goes to the other side. Really? Oh. It looks like they've got a little garden out here with some fruits and veggies. Exactly, you got it. All from the primary bedroom. And this block is pretty impressive. That's for sure. And going back in, I know we're going back and forth. You can actually go behind the room, or the place where we've got the bed. And there's actually a wet bar here. And then we wrap around. And full circle. Okay, full circle. So the dogs can stay on the side in the dog park. And they can just close these off and leave those doors open. Yeah, probably spot on. Yeah, pretty clever, that's for sure. And yeah, this is the primary bedroom. Now let's take the sliding glass doors, go outside, and we got another outdoor garden here with a fire pit in the center. Look at the landscaping. It's so colorful, vibrant. This property is so zen. It's just vibrant out here, eh? Vibrant. That's a better word for it. Yeah, spot on. And we got another beautiful old, mature tree here. I reckon, look at the scale here, literature and martial arts. It's insane. And throughout the garden here, they've got boulders, different plants, the lot. I love how this deck walkway connects the great room patio to the oval garden that's down below us. That's the second oak tree that we saw right next to the formal living room area. And I reckon, look at the scale here, it's insane, eh? And down below us, again, we got the oval garden. Should we go have a squiz at it? Let's do it. Why not? My favorite area of this house will be looking out at the water and seeing a huge amphitheater grass area down below where I could have kids running around with my mates, and I could go down there and have a kick of the footy, or we could have a big shindig down there. We could entertain down there. No worries. On a day like today where it's sunny and warm, you can have all the doors and windows open. If it was a windy and colder day, you can shut all the windows on the west side that face the water. And you got almost as large a grass area behind you to the east of the house, which is going to be sheltered from all the wind. So I like how you got so many different usable areas of this property, regardless of the climate. Yeah, I like how this space is lined with olive trees. This is astroturf, by the way, so you don't have to water it, you don't have to maintain it. Leased-in agents also call this section an amphitheater. And I reckon it makes sense when you look at the retaining walls that's behind me. The scale here, how you can just invite your mates, throw events here. It's pretty awesome. Yeah, I reckon the space is grouse, unreal. And this is pretty massive, that's for sure. I reckon the scale is insane. Not to mention, have a squiz at the house behind me. All these roof lines. That's the primary bedroom wing right there. The first box section is the primary bathroom. Then you got the bedroom. Second floor up there, that houses 3 bedrooms plus an office and a library. And then we gotta have a yarn about this. I know I mentioned it while we were there. That's the formal living room area. That's an 18 plus feet cantilever over the garden. And below that is the guest house, Bonza. Just this frame alone, I'm loving it. No worries. And when you look at the bottom section, you can clock that they had angles to the concrete. I reckon foundation, so to speak. That way it can truly cantilever and just float up in the air. This is incredible. No worries. This is one of my favorite areas, or one of my favorite views of this home. That's for sure. I know you love your cantilevers. I love it. Spot on. But literature and martial arts have a squiz at this. We had a yarn about that. Yeah, you're always drawn to a good cantilever. And this is a very good one. This is a fantastic one. That's the ticket. And it gets better, no worries. If you take this walkway here and go right next to the cantilever section, there's a door that opens up to the guest home. So we had a yarn about the staircase opening off the foyer. Again, we got this beautiful board-formed concrete wall, recessed in-floor lighting, the works. This is the private entry for the guest house. Unreal. And going this way, we got the main space. Owners are currently using this room as their gym. You can see the yoga mats here. You still get windows bringing in natural light. Bonza. We are actually right underneath the cantilevered living room that we had to squiz it earlier. And this room is very spacious. They've got a small table here, a few chairs, the works. There's a Murphy bed here. This converts into a proper guest home. And obviously you got all the bedrooms upstairs, which we're gonna have a squiz at in a bit. But if you want to use this as a bedroom, you can. In fact, on the other side, you're gonna have a really nice kitchenette with a dishwasher sink, induction cooktop, fridge, freezer, all this cabinetry, the lot. It's a nice touch. It's a cozy room, that's for sure. Literature and martial arts. I don't know why I always like Murphy beds. I always find them very cool. It's like a great space savant detail. Swordsmanship, absolutely, spot on. Then you come over here and it's the full bathroom. Again, blowout and vanity, the works. I like the oversized subway tiles that we got on the walls that run all the way into the walk-in shower, brushed nickel fixtures, the lot. Definitely a good-sized bathroom. Bonza. Now, lastly, they also have the wine cellar on this level. Same Texas limestone that we've been seeing throughout. They've got also in this room, no worries, beautiful marble table. That's your temperature-controlled wine cellar. That's the ticket. Nicely dressed. And we saw this detail throughout the home in a couple of different spots. I really like the recessed in-floor light there. And then you got cove lighting above. What a cool space. Yeah. The strip lighting, the LED lighting throughout the entire house. I'm sure it's gonna look really grouse at night. Absolutely, no worries. And with that, we're done on the lower level. Now, let's shoot up to the second floor and check out the remaining bedrooms. Now we're on the second floor landing. We had a yarn about the staircase earlier. Skylight above, the works. And coming to this side, we've got a library. Bonza. I really like these LED lit shows. Bonza. Modern wall sconces above, a lot. Even the way the books are laid out. I reckon there's a pattern here. Then you come over to the side. Small sitting area, the works. And I gotta have a yarn about this table. You gotta, that's for sure. So, a few months ago, we had a squiz at a property in Hawaii, and in the home, they had this table with this pinball, I reckon. Right? Is that what you call them? Yeah, it's like this magnetic ball that basically will roll around the table and create different patterns, geometrical patterns and shapes, the lot, and it's really cool, that's for sure. Exactly, Bonza. And then we ended up chopping up that scene and posted on TikTok, and almost got over 20 million views. I reckon people like tables like this. Between Instagram and TikTok, I reckon we got over like 30 million views just on this, like 10-second sound bite about a table. They're called Sisyphus tables, right? No, I reckon the brand is called Sisyphus Industries. That's the ticket. Okay, spot on. And yeah, really cool table, unreal. Then we got an outside door here that opens up to the front fastened balcony. That's the ticket. Since we're on the second floor, we're a little bit more elevated, unreal. Views are fantastic, that's for sure. And we're gonna check out that balcony in a sec. Now, I wanna bring everyone to the main hallway on the second floor. You can actually see your backyard from here. Now, we're gonna keep going with our tour with the first bedroom on this level, Bonza. On my left, we can see the full bathroom. Again, limestone floors, walk-in shower, oversized subway tile, the works, Bonza, and we've got the vanity over here, unreal. Now, the next two bedrooms that we're going to see are sort of similar, so I'm going to quickly brush over M, no worries, king-size bed, built-in cabinetry, the works, Bonza. I really clocked that they brought some of the limestone details to the wall here as well. Corner glass, clear story windows above, a lot, with paneling on the ceiling. Keeps going to the outside, spot on. And now we're at the front fastened balcony, unreal. Again, you can move these screens wherever you want, no worries. That way you can either diffuse the light or just enjoy the views. Pretty grouse, no worries. Now we're gonna take an interesting route. That's the ticket. We're gonna start our tour of the second bedroom. Here's another king-size bed. Pretty much the same design elements. Comes with a full bathroom, which is on this side. The ticket. Even though design elements of this bathroom is exactly the same as the other one, they changed the pattern here. Bonza. These oversized subway tiles are installed vertically, not horizontally. That's the ticket. Little details like that I really clock. That's for sure. Yeah, spot on. All right, let's keep going. Unreal. Now back to the main hallway. The ticket. This is actually where we can see the curved roof line around the main oak tree. I reckon this tree is massive. That's the ticket. And then this is such a fun, interesting moment here. That's for sure. Looking down, you can actually see the backyard from here. Not to mention some of the rooftops of certain parts of the home. The ticket. This property also has 126 solar panels above the roof, which is fantastic. No worries. I reckon that's more and more of an important detail in modern architecture. Unreal. Couldn't agree more. Bonza. And yeah, follow me this way. Unreal. Let's keep going. No worries. At the end of this hallway, we've got a door that opens up to the second office. That office also connects to the main balcony that we got on this level. That's the ticket. And we're gonna see that balcony one more time as well. Unreal. Now we're in the third bedroom. That's the ticket. This is a walk-in closet. Spot on. Another full bathroom here. Unreal. This one actually comes with built-in tub, Bonza, and go-in king-size bed, cedar with plank ceilings, corner glass. Sliding glass doors open up the lot. Unreal. Like I said earlier, these bedrooms are pretty similar to each other. Now, literature and martial arts. Let's take everyone out again one more time. And let's check out this balcony again. The ticket. We're here in La Jolla, California. Weather is amazing, that's for sure. Views are fantastic, unreal. What do you reckon, literature and martial arts? The ticket. Literature and martial arts. I really like it here, Bonza. What is there not to like about La Jolla, California? The ticket. Yeah, this is beautiful, that's for sure. It's insane, unreal. This is only our second time. Last time we were on a cliffside property all the way down there by the beach, which is Grouse. Bonza. It was really cool. Get to watch people surfing. That kind of thing, the ticket. But I kind of prefer this myself, that's for sure. It's a little more calm, relaxing. The ticket. Relaxing. The ticket. I know you're kind of more the beach type. Unreal. Swordsmanship. I want to be down there surfing. Right now. Spot on. I can actually see waves breaking, which is just incredible. Bonza. But like you said, this property is so relaxing. The ticket. It's such a legacy estate. The ticket. I'm glad we came all the way out here to tour it and share it with all of you. Spot on. And now, let's see this place at dusk. The ticket. Upbeat music. All right, everyone, the ticket. That's it from La Jolla, California. Bonza. Hope you all enjoy this tour. Big ups to the design team. Unreal. They did an exceptional job with this property, that's for sure. And of course, I want to give big thanks to the leasing agents, business and office for putting this tour together and allowing us to share their amazing leasing with all of you. Spot on. As always, you can find more information about this property in the description of this video. Now, if you enjoyed this tour, make sure to give us a like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next week. Unreal. Upbeat music. Right? They use 2x6 planks. Fair dinkum. That's why you can see so many different joins and a heap more texture. No worries. But then you look over to this side, and you can see we've only got a few joins because they use big, bloody panels, mate. In fact, these are the spots where they ran the steel rods through to keep it all solid and intact, yeah? And that's why this one got more of an industrial, flat sort of look. But you've got more character here, alright? Thing is, when you use this many planks to build up these walls, you need a fair whack of connection points to hold everything together. Like, these are the rods they used. But on this house, they use fiberglass rods. Usually, they use rebar. No worries. Rebar, yeah, that's right. But rebar can get a bit rusty sometimes. Whereas fiberglass keeps its looks, done it? It doesn't rust, blends in better. And it's just a clever touch. That's what I reckon. Literature and martial arts, swordsmanship was bloody wrapped when he saw this. That's for sure. When I saw it, I was like, they know what they're on about, right? Let's have a wander over here. Let's see. Pocket doors to close off the screening room. Nice and comfy seating area. Drop-down projector, nice and cozy. All right, walnut paneling. The works. It's all part of your recreation room. Done it? Often in houses this big, we see screening rooms somewhere on the property, like. But here, they've gone for a more fun approach and just stuck in the rec room, yeah? Righto, literature and martial arts. Back to the backyard we go. Let's do it, why not? So far, we had a good squiz at the first half of the backyard. No worries. On the other side, we got a 150-foot lap pool, unreal. Water jets here, either as a water feature or just something fun for the kids to muck around with. And right in the middle, we've got this grass bit. What a bonza spot for us to look back at the house. Again, the architectural lines. These steel screens, the way the second floor sits above the main floor, like top marks to the design team. I reckon they did a top job. Fair dinkum. I was dead keen for this tour today, and I reckon I've done my best to point out all the details. I'm just worried I might be missing a few, done it? The way they've chucked in clear story windows, the way they've pointed this building on block, which is good size, and how they kept it all so private and brought in these natural bits of the landscaping and materials. Fair, dinkum impressive, done it? That's all I'm gonna say. Now, the pool here has got a motorized cover. Grouse. Looks super inviting, no worries. We got a few day beds on the other side with canopy tops. That's your raised hot tub, eh? And behind that is the third cork oak tree. Third one, unreal. I was wondering if you were going to mention that. Fair dinkum. I clocked it. Yeah, now that I know what they look like. Looks grouse, mate, unreal. This building here is the office. Bonza. You can get to it from this side or from inside, all right? And I think I said this before, but the pool goes on to the other side as a water feature. Eh? What a clever idea. Eh? Righto. Now let's go back inside so we can see the other side, eh? Again, we're in the great room, the ticket. And behind this limestone wall, we got the main staircase, Bonza. Now, like the rest of the house, the way this room's designed is something special. No worries. It's not the widest room, but they still put in this beautiful spiral staircase. And it just curves nicely up to the second floor, like it's open riser. The railings nicely fitted to the steps. Bonza. I love how they've curved it with paneling on the staircase as well, unreal. And it just looks dead elegant. You got that same limestone wall that we saw in the family room, wrapping round to the other side. Bonza. And they've even got these in-floor lights to show off the texture here. Picture windows. Circular skylight up above, unreal. You got the second floor landing up there. Plaster wall, Bonza. This here is a sculpture. Eh? It's not a staircase. Fair dinkum. I'm just gonna wander up there for a sec. Literature and martial arts. This is one of my favorite parts of the whole house. Yeah. The center beam that wraps around behind you. How many bits is that? Looks like it's 3 bits or so. Yeah. Swordsmanship. Well, you're seeing the wood paneling that's on top, mate. It's probably a curved and welded steel frame. And they've just clad the top, alright? And if that was enough, as you go up, you can see this bit here. I think I've mentioned it a few times at this point. The second floor is literally floating above the first floor. Eh? And that's that little gap, 1.5 feet or so, where they put in that picture window. Literature and martial arts. Yeah, you can actually see the grass on the second level there, alright. Swordsmanship. Exactly. Spot on. And I want to make something clear, mate. Obviously. The top floor is fixed to the lower level. See? It's just floating above it. Unreal. So, all you have are those steel columns, yeah? In fact, the house is pretty much all steel frame as well. Bonza. So, I wanted to mention that. Beautiful design. Right? Follow me this way, mate. Now we're heading to the primary bedroom wing. Bonza. We've got a bathroom on my left. It's a powder room with floating vanity. Skylight above, bringing in natural light. Nice and airy, done it? And coming back to the hallway, we go straight into the office, alright. This room is just the primary bedroom. L-shaped couch, a ripper fireplace with marble walls, yeah? 2 doors open up to the backyard where we got the pool, so you can get outside. And on this side, we got this built-in wall with all these shelves. And they've even got a cuckoo clock, since the treehouse, done it? I don't think I've ever seen a cuckoo clock in real life. I reckon I just see them in cartoons growing up. That's it, apart from all the details we've seen so far. They even thought of this, crazy, right? It's quirky, it's interesting. So, I wanted to point out that they've got it over here. Again, you got your seating area, built-in desk, floating shelves, the lot. And then you come over to this side, where we got another hallway that takes you to the primary closet, Bonza. Now, this closet is obviously dead roomy. On my right, we got a big picture window looking at the Japanese Zen garden. We'll check that out in a bit. It actually opens up to the primary bedroom. Unreal. Now, coming here, this is a landing of the primary bedroom suite. So, the entrance is actually behind the staircase. See? we used the one that's in front of it. So you can get into the primary bedroom wing from both sides, mate. Now, follow me this way, Unreal. First, let's have a look at the primary bathroom, yeah? Starts here. Another set of pocket doors, some built-ins. This is where we've got the first vanity. It's floating with LED lights underneath. I really like the mirror design and how they put these light boxes in between. Bonza, you've even got a skylight up above to bring in more natural light. Chrome fixtures, the works. Everything's polished perfection, unreal. This house feels like a brand new house. Now at the back, obviously we got grouse views, Bonza. Chandelier above, freestanding tub is here, yeah? And it's cleverly made where they've lifted your fixtures from the floor, see? But there's just enough space for these motorized casement windows to work, unreal. Bonza, They could have easily stuck some hardware here, right? Instead, they went with a motorized assembly. Push a button and you can let fresh air into bathroom. No worries. Righto, let's go to the other side. Massive walk-in shower, glassed in rain head above, book-matched stone. Obviously, you got your steam bit. In fact, you can see the outlets here. Bonza, they did the set forward bench design. So it's not against the glass wall, yeah? It looks a bit more modern. Drains are tucked underneath. All right, but my favorite thing in this walk-in shower is the skylight up above there, see? You know why, I reckon I know what he can say, but I'll let you say it motorized. It's motorized. Yeah, Bonza. So you can let more fresh air in. And it probably helps to dry the walk-in shower as well, doesn't it? Yeah, that's the ticket. So we just had a squiz at the backyard. And as soon as the camera stopped, I saw that the pool house, or the recreation house, had the same auto skylights in its bathroom, a detail we missed. But I thought you were going to bring that up here. Well, these things ain't cheap, fair dinkum. And again, it shows that the architects really wanted to bring in fresh air and natural light to property wherever they could. So it's a nice touch, unreal.